Hello everyone, Kaiser here, and today I'm back with a new custom action figure, and it's the first HunterXHunter figure that I've made on this channel, that being the main character, Gong Freaks. And for this figure, it's kind of a trade slash commission figure, since I actually made this for one of my friends on Instagram, and he said he wanted Gong Freaks. So I thought that it would be pretty cool to make my first HunterXHunter figure, since I am a big fan of the series. I technically haven't finished it yet, but I've gotten up to at least the Chimera arc, and I really enjoy it. So it was a lot of fun to make the main character, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. So with that, let's get into the work in progress. So when it comes to the work in progress of this figure, it was simple enough. There were a few places that I struggled with, but for the most part, I think I did a pretty good job making the design of Gong Freaks that we wanted. So let's get right into it, starting with what pieces I used. For the most part, the body, like the main body and the legs, actually come from a Mattel Avatar Aang figure, since it was like one of the skinnier bodies that I had in my fodder drawer. So I decided to use those pieces since I think they would work best. The arms come from a DC Superhero Girls, since again, they were pretty skinny and Gong isn't exactly the buffest protagonist, so they worked. The boots also come from a DC Superhero Girls. I think it was Batgirl that had these boots. And the head is 3D printed, and this is one of the 3D printed heads that I've had for a while, so I decided to use it for this project. After that, I just got started on sculpting, mostly around his upper arms and the shorts, which weren't too hard. And I also checked the scaling of this figure. I'm not exactly sure how tall the Figma version is, but my friend said he wanted him to be somewhere around the height of the Figma Midoriya. So as you can see, I scaled him up with the one I have, and I think it worked pretty well. Gong is still pretty short compared to Midoriya, so it all worked out. After that, it was simple stuff like sanding the figure and the sculpted parts. Then I went on to painting, and for most of the body, well, all of the body actually, it's all spray painted. So the arms are spray painted with the flesh tone that I use for Aaron, as I said in my previous video. The shorts are spray painted with a dark green, and the white is spray painted with the white, obviously. One thing that I did do for the figure is I actually included ankle joints, as you can see here, since the DC Superhero Girls didn't have that, so I decided to add it in, and they worked out pretty well. After that, as you can see in the picture here, I basically just went in and painted some more details. I painted the boots, and I have to say they came out pretty well. I used different shades of green. I painted the little armbands that were around his wrist. I know those aren't included with this design of Gong, you know, the one where he's in the tank top, but I thought it would look weird if they were just painted a flesh tone, and I didn't want to like sand them down or anything, and they still fit with Gong, I believe, so I decided to keep them in. Then I painted the neck to be a flesh tone. Pretty simple stuff, in all honesty. Then I got started on the head, which was probably the hardest part to do, which I kind of feel like I say that for every figure, but that's because it's kind of true. That's like one of the most important parts of the figure. So as you can see, I spray painted the head white, drew in the where the eyes were going to go, and I also started sculpting the hair. I knew the hair was going to be kind of difficult, since he kind of has like this Bart Simpson style hair. So what I did was I sculpted a huge spike on the top of the head, and then sculpted around it. And that seemed to work pretty well. I think I got the general shape of Gong's hair. I wouldn't say it's exactly perfect, but it's definitely a lot more accurate than I thought it would be. Then after that, I painted the rest of the head the flesh tone. I painted the hair green, and then I got started on the eyes. And again, I knew the eyes were going to be kind of difficult since I wanted them to look right, but I think I did a really good job. As you can see in the pictures here, I was able to add in detail, like a lot of detail in the eyes, just getting them really accurate. And I did give him kind of like a determined, like Shonen Jump hero look. I think it worked pretty well. And then after that, that's pretty much it. There are a few other details that I added in, like the belt and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was a pretty simple custom to do. And I think it came out pretty well. So with that being said, let's get into some of the finer details that I did for this figure. And here is the completed Gong Freeze figure. And I think for like the first time that I've made this character, it actually came out pretty well. There are a few things that I can improve from, but for my first time, I think it came out really well. As you can see, the face, or I should say the eyes, came out really well. That was probably the hardest part, as I explained in the work in progress, since I wanted them to be symmetrical and I wanted them to look a lot like how they look in the show. And if I can get a little closer, you can see that I did add a bit of shading into them with like a lighter, well, more like a darker yellow and brown. And I'm really glad I was able to put that detail in. For the hair, I think it could be a bit better. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it doesn't look as accurate as it could. But I definitely say it looks a lot. It definitely looks like Gong's hair. I could just do a bit better on it. The main body isn't too interesting. It's just that normal tank top look that he had. I think it was during the Chimera Ant arc. And then there's his shorts and his boots, which actually came out pretty well. I like the different shades of green I added in. But yeah, this kind of reminds me of my Aaron Titan video, where there isn't much to talk about in terms of the design, but it was really fun to work on and it came out really well. So let's just get into the articulation. As you can see, the head can swivel and it can go up and down a little bit. The arms can go out to the side. They are pretty tight. And they can go forward and back. I did add, as you can see, a little bit of a indentation so you can move the arms in just a bit. He has a single jointed elbow with a swivel and a wrist swivel. He has an ab crunch that can go a little bit forward, but can definitely go back quite a bit. He has a waist swivel, which is nice and tight since I didn't want that to fall off. The legs can go that far forward, and they can go back not that much. They can go out to the side. He has a thigh swivel, which is hidden under the shorts. He has double jointed knees. He does have like a lower he does have like a lower thigh swivel, and that just came off. Give me a sec. Okay, so he does have a lower thigh swivel, as you can kind of see if my camera can focus. It's not really necessary, but it does help with articulation. He has a boot swivel, which is tighter than the lower ankle swivel or thigh swivel, so you can definitely use that. And the boot can go that far forward, that far back, and he does have ankle pivot. So the legs, the entire body, honestly, is pretty simple in terms of articulation. I do wish I was able to find like a way to give him more range in the elbows, but I think just the 90-degree bend here isn't too bad. You can definitely get him into a lot of iconic poses, as I will show in the photo shoot. But yeah, again, pretty simple, but it definitely works really well. So let's get into a bit of a size comparison. And here you can see Gong standing with the rest of my Shonen Jump protagonists, when it comes to some of the younger characters, such as Midoriya, Boruto, and Asta, I say he stands at a pretty good height. He's shorter than Boruto, since I'm pretty sure Boruto's the shortest out of all of them, but he's not as tall as Midoriya or even Asta. I think he's around 5'1", if I'm correct. And as you can see with the other shonen heroes, the big three, he stands pretty well with them as well. So yeah, that is my custom Gon Freets. It was really fun to work on this figure, and now that I think about it, I do actually have a few more parts that I could probably use to make my own Gon Freak. So I'm probably going to be doing that. So you'll probably be seeing another Gon on this channel, which I hope you guys enjoy whenever I decide to do that. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really fun to work on this figure from my friend Jugo Customs on Instagram. I'll be sure to link his account in the description. He's really good at making customs, and I hope you guys support him. I hope you guys continue to support me. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
My world upon his head, the overwhelming grief and fear when I see his body dead.
I'm setting off on my quest. Adventure awaits me, I'm not gonna take it slow. You know I'm bringing my best. These trials will make me a hunter who breaks the mold. Cause I'm forming bonds that's stronger than a rock, oh. Cut my path like scissors, no, I'll never stop, no. Like paper feeling weightless, going with the flow. So when the time will come, it's
Rock, paper, scissors, go!